We've all been there. You've had an incredibly long day, you walk through your front door, and before you even have a chance to drop your keys on the counter, boom, you see it. A trail of shredded mail. Or maybe a lonely, completely chewed up shoe just sitting there in the middle of the hallway. You take a deep breath, you look up, and your eyes lock with theirs. Your dog is cowering in the corner. They're actively avoiding eye contact, practically trying to melt into the floorboards and make themselves as incredibly small as possible. It is so exasperating, isn't it?
And right there, in that exact moment, human nature just totally takes over. We can't help but ask ourselves, do they know exactly what they did? Because, when you look at them, it really seems like they do. You look at those incredibly sad, drooping eyes, and it feels like you're witnessing a direct, undeniable confession of a guilty conscience. You think, aha, you know you weren't supposed to eat that shoe. We literally just project our own human emotions right onto them.
But guys, here's the totally heartbreaking truth that completely flips the script on this whole situation. That posture, it isn't an apology. It is a shield. When your dog is cowering like that, they are not actually offering you an apology for ruining your favorite sneakers. That posture is a straight-up defense mechanism. And what's truly, honestly gut-wrenching about this is that they are raising that emotional shield against the person they love the absolute most in the entire world, and that's you.
So, let's strip away this whole guilty conscience narrative we've all been fed for years. Section 1. Reading the storm, decoding the lie.
It all comes down to a simple number, 2. See, when you walk into a room and suddenly use a sharp voice, or your body language just gets super stiff and tense because you just spotted that destroyed shoe, your dog is absolutely not thinking about a mess they made 2 hours ago. To a dog, 2 hours ago is ancient history. They don't possess some sort of time-traveling conscience that lets them mentally connect a past action with your current frustration. They live entirely, 100% in the now. This perfectly illustrates the massive disconnect between us and our pets. We naturally assume they're sitting there reflecting on a past misdeed. But the actual canine reality? They are incredible emotional detectives, and they are intensely focused on reading the storm of your current mood. They see the sudden tension in your shoulders. They hear the heavy change in your footsteps, literally before a single word even leaves your mouth. So what you are actually witnessing here is not guilt. It's an outward display of what behavioral experts call calming signals. It's essentially this ancient survival dance designed specifically to de-escalate anger and bring back the peace. When your dog senses that storm brewing inside of you, their instincts kick into overdrive. They're basically trying to use their own body language to diffuse your tension and just calm you down. Seriously, next time notice these specific physical signs. They're pinning their ears flat against their head. They might be repeatedly licking the air or their own lips. They might even let out this big, exaggerated yawn. We so often mistake these things for a dog looking sheepish or feeling busted, but listen, this isn't a confession. It is a desperate, instinctual plea for you to stand down. They are essentially saying to you, hey, I see you're upset. I am not a threat. Please calm down. Which brings us right to the emotional core of this entire explainer. Section 2. The heartbreaking truth, a language of devotion. I really want you to take a second and think about the profound empathy happening here. We think we're managing past behavior. But dogs? They are entirely focused on managing present happiness. Because dogs live so incredibly fully in the present moment, here's the real kicker. They will throw these exact same calming signals even if they are completely innocent. Seriously, if you walk in with a terrible mood and just assume they did something wrong, they'll still cower. They aren't trying to fix the past. They are entirely focused on fixing your current unhappiness.
When your dog shrinks away from you, they aren't asking for forgiveness for a crime they don't even remember committing. Every single time they offer you that cowering face, they're really asking one simple, vital, deeply heartbreaking question. Are you still safe to love? They are just checking to see if their safe haven, which is you, is still intact.
Knowing that, we really have to change how we react to them. Section 3. From busted to bonded, reframing the relationship. Once you realize this is actually a plea for emotional safety, it permanently dismantles that whole myth. We look down and see a frightened performer who just got caught. But the reality? You are looking at a devoted creature whose entire world begins and ends with your smile. We perceive human guilt, but to them, your slight frown feels like a world-ending event. Their devotion to you is so absolute, so complete, that your disappointment literally rocks their entire universe.
So how do we actually honor that incredible devotion? Well, here is your action plan. Step 1, trade scolding for understanding. Realize that the shoe is already gone, and yelling won't bring it back, nor will it teach them some grand lesson about the past. Step 2, stop being a threat. Just soften your body language, take a breath, and let them know the storm has passed. And finally, step 3, go back to being their hero. Because when you do this, you aren't just letting them get away with it. You're actively choosing to honor the integrity of your bond. You are choosing trust over fear.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Have you learned to read the storm? Are you on team I always thought they knew? Or are you totally ready to see those signals for what they truly are? I really want to hear from you on this. Drop a comment below and tell me about the most dramatic, calming signal your dog uses to try and win you over. And hey, if this explainer helped you finally see that guilty look as a beautiful sign of deep devotion rather than a broken rule, please hit subscribe so we can keep exploring all the fascinating truths behind the world around us. Thanks so much for joining me on The Explainer.